What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Free channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in today's video, I'm headed up to Sparks, Nevada, just east of Reno, Nevada. I pick up a load of dog food, I believe, and it's headed up to a Walmart distribution center up in Washington. It's Grandview, Washington, so like the southern part of the state. Headed up to Grandview, and then after that, I will probably be picking up a load that's headed back to the Midwest or to the east, which is going to be nice because that is some nice long miles. But I'm making this video because first and foremost, it's absolutely gorgeous up here in Northern California. They did get blasted with some snow the last few days, but luckily the snowplows got out here and cleared the roads up really nice, and they're drivable. So that's all that really matters, is that yeah, it's safe to drive on the roads, because this time of year in Northern California, in Oregon, Washington, even Nevada, I mean, really all of those states, all the states I'm going to be going through up through to Washington, you can encounter some really bad weather. So I'm hoping the weather holds up. If it doesn't, and I'm required to throw chains, like I've said in previous videos, that is my rule. I do not throw chains. And the reason is because if it's that bad on the road to where I have to put on chains, then it's too bad to drive. That's the way I look at it. So I would just shut it down and wait for the roads to clear up, kind of like you see now. So anyway, in this video, it's going to be an update video, and it's going to be some reflecting on really the whole year. I'm going to do some reflecting. I have a lot on my mind. I have a lot that I think about as a truck driver, and as somebody who does YouTube, as somebody who does investing in the stock market. I've been an investor in the stock market for about 5 years, and look, I'm young. So for those of you that say, oh, that's nothing, that's no time at all, well, I'm only 28 years old. So, and I've only been in trucking and making some real money for the last like 5, maybe 6 years, where I've made any kind of money to be able to put money away and into investments. So I'm going to do some reflecting and yeah, just talk about my experience over this last year, and also throughout my trucking career and other things that I've been doing. And so I hope you guys enjoy this video. The people that are new to the channel, make sure you stay tuned till the end. Check out more of my other videos that will be popping up at the end of this video. Also, like the video and sub to the channel. Check out my Instagram as well. I can't forget that. Follow me on Instagram. The link to that is in the description below. And don't worry, I'm going to get right to the point. So what is the point? Well, as a truck driver, everybody who is a truck driver understands this. Anybody who watches my channel understands that as a truck driver, you have a lot of time, especially when you're OTR, a lot of time to sit and think about life. That's pretty much all you have time to do, is sit and think about life. Now, that can lead to very negative things. That can lead to very destructive habits for a lot of people. It can also lead to very positive habits for a lot of people. When you become an over-the-road truck driver, unless you're a team or you bring your wife with you, you are going to be alone all the time, obviously. Now, you'll get to talk to people on the phone and things like that. Yes, that is true. But for the most part, you're alone. People are only going to stay on the phone with you for so long before it's just you and your thoughts. Well, how can you escape your thoughts? Because as the old saying goes, an idle mind is the devil's playground. And in trucking, there is nothing more truer than that. There's nothing more truer than that. If you just sit in this truck all day and all you ever do is listen to music, you are going to go crazy. You are. If all you do is listen to music, you're going to go nuts. If all you do is entertain yourself, what does that mean? Well, in my opinion, listening to political commentary that suits your agenda, that favors what you believe, because to me it's all a sideshow anyway. It's all smoke screen, smoke and mirrors, whatever you want to call it. It's all propaganda, right or left. And I think it's a huge waste of time if you want to do better in your life. I do believe that. So, you could spend your time listening to what's going on in politics. You could spend your time listening to what's going on in sports. And look, music, what's going on in politics, sports, all of those things, I do consume a little bit of those things. I do. I would be lying if I said I didn't consume a little bit of that content. I think everybody does. But however, if that is all you do, then you are going to go insane mentally. You are. You are. So what's the best alternative to, getting through your drive shift and getting through being alone? Well, a lot of people bring like video games on the road with them in the truck, so when they have like a 34-hour reset, they will play games. They'll play like Call of Duty, whatever games there are, sports games, whatever. They'll bring their Xbox, their PlayStation, they'll play those games. And I think, honestly, that's a good way to spend your time. I do. I think when you're off, if it keeps your mind going and it's something that will occupy your time, cool. I would recommend while you're doing that, I'll just throw that in there, I'll recommend while you're doing that, maybe listen to an audiobook while you're doing that. That way, you're educating yourself while having fun. I would do that. And so, but those are some things you can do. You can do that, or while you're driving, the best thing you can do is listen to audiobooks that actually educate you, that teach you how to better yourself. That is the absolute best thing you can do. That is what I do. If I am not doing a YouTube video or I listen to about 30 minutes to an hour of music in the morning when I first wake up, just to wake up, drink my coffee, relax, enjoy the sunset, whatever. Well, if I'm driving through the night, just wake up and kind of, think about things that are going on. But once I'm awake and my mind is going, now it's time to learn something. And then I usually do that and then talk to my wife, other family members. But when I'm not talking to them, I am educating myself. I'm either listening to an audiobook or I am listening to content that is teaching me stuff. Okay, that is what I spend my time doing. You don't have to do anything I'm talking about. This is just what I do. This is how I have been able to do over the road for this long. I can see why a lot of people do not want to be over the road truck drivers for an extended period of time. Usually people do about 6 months to a year, and they will go regional or local. That is usually the path of most people that get into this industry. And I'm not knocking people who do that. But I had a financial goal coming into trucking. I had a goal to save up so much money before I came off of over the road, and then save up so much money before I go and do my own thing in the industry, which will be coming here in the future. But I had that plan going in, so I knew the best way to maximize my income was to get into over the road and make some sacrifices for a few years and stack up my money, because I can work every day I want. If I go home, I'm going to spend money. If I go home, I'm not making money. So I can work 7 days a week and stack as much money as I can. I used the first year to get out of debt, to build a 6-month emergency fund like I always talk about. And then after about a year, started to invest in the stock market and have piled thousands of dollars, multiple 6 figures into the stock market. Well, part of that is the gains that I've gotten in the stock market since I started. Now, I did have some money in the market before I got into trucking, but the majority of the money that I have in the market right now invested has all come from trucking, because of trucking. And so I'm proud to say that. I'm not ashamed that trucking has set me up. I am not ashamed of it at all. Trucking has been an absolute blessing for me, my wife, my son now. It has absolutely set up our family. I've helped my wife pay cash for her college. She has worked too and done that, but I have helped contribute to that. And we have done that with trucking. We have, we're debt-free. Most Americans are not debt-free. Most people are not debt-free at all, really in the world, not just America. Most people are in debt. Most people do not have a 6-month emergency fund. Most people don't have $1,000 saved. And so I'm not saying that to brag. I'm simply saying that to, reflect. Like I said, this is all reflecting. This is what goes through the mind of a truck driver over the road, and especially somebody that has been doing it as long as I have been doing it. I have been doing it straight for 4 years now. In January, it will be 4 years solo as an over-the-road truck driver. Now, I have talked about how next year I will be switching, and I will not be doing over-the-road. But again, I'm just reflecting on this last year and really reflecting on my entire experience being in the trucking industry, in my entire experience over the last few years. And like I said, when you're alone, you have things you can do. There's a lot of bad habits, a lot of good habits you can get into. If you can find a way to keep your mind busy, and it's very simple, you will get through the being alone. Okay, you will. Now, one thing that has helped me, I did not start this YouTube channel until about 2 years into trucking. I did not start. I started it about after 2 years of being in trucking. I maybe posted like 1 or 2 videos, but as far as like starting this channel the right way, where I posted all the time, like, to be honest, this last year, at the beginning of the year, like around Christmas time last year, going into 2022, is where I said, hey, I'm going to post 3 times a week. I'm going to post 3 times a week because I have a goal in the long run with this YouTube channel. I do. And so that is what I've done. I have posted, for the most part, I haven't been perfect every week. I've taken some breaks, but for the most part, I have posted like crazy over this last year, and the results have been absolutely incredible. I did not expect to get the results that I've gotten. I did not. Okay, and again, I'm grateful for that, but it's because I did it consistently. I know that. I did it consistently. I knew that that's how you grow a channel, and that's what I did. And that was one of my goals this year, this last year, was to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year. That was my goal in early January, when I first said, hey, I'm going to post 3 times a week. And why do I post about trucking? Why do I post about my life? Why do I even have a YouTube channel? Well, number one, it is a way, because like I said, you're alone, you're in your thoughts. It's a way for me to vent, and a way for me to express myself. I think everybody in this space, that is why they do this. They do it to express themselves. They also do it for the networking. You can network. If you get big enough and people start to know who you are, other creators start to know who you are, you can network with those people. Like, if I were to be able to connect with somebody who has, 50,000 subscribers, that's a lot of connections. That is valuable. Knowing people is valuable. So that's another reason why I started this channel, is because I want to network with people that are in my industry. And it's very hard to network in trucking without using social media. So that is why I did it. I do not care about being famous or anything like that, but I know that I have to get known in my space to make connections, to have options. And options come with knowing people. It does. You don't have to be best friends with people, but when you know people, you have connections, right? Like, say there's another creator that works for a company or has a situation that is really good, really attractive, that, hey, I may want to go over there and take advantage of that opportunity, or I have an opportunity where people can come over here and take advantage of this opportunity. You get the point. When you network with people, well, it gives you options. It does. So that is the gist of it. I mean, YouTube, well, trucking has set me up financially. I had a plan with this career, but then I also want to take it to a different level. I want to be known in my space, but also express myself, and also potentially make money with the channel. That could happen. I mean, I make a little bit of money now, but it's nothing to get excited about, that's for sure. That is not why you start the YouTube channel. It has to be long-term. It has to be a long-term approach and a long-term mindset. This is a hobby at first. If you don't enjoy doing it, don't do it at all. But I enjoy doing it. That's number one. I do not get tired of doing YouTube. If I could do this full time, every single day and be home making videos, I would do it. But I do it on the road and share my experience. And I think that's really cool that I get to share this OTR experience with you. And I also get to show my son and look back myself at a lot of these videos that I've made. Like, look, I'm driving through one of the prettiest areas in the entire country. A beautiful national forest right here. And man, I get to go see Reno, Nevada. I've never been through Reno. Even with Crete, I have not been through Reno, but I will be tomorrow morning. I'll be going through from the time I'm making this video. So, yeah, I mean, I've gotten to see so many beautiful things. When you become a truck driver, especially when you start with a company where you go all 48 states, it is an absolutely incredible experience getting to see things like I'm looking at right now, things that you're looking at in this video. Getting to see, in my opinion, the West, but plenty of beautiful stuff out east as well. Okay, there's parts of Texas that are gorgeous. You go out west in Texas, I mean, it's really cool out there. California, really beautiful. Say what you want to say about the government, I get it. But as far as trucking and driving and getting to see beautiful scenery, beautiful parts of the country, if you enjoy nature, wildlife, coming out to California it's one of the prettiest states in the entire country. It is. Oregon, Washington, pretty much all of the West, from Colorado all the way west. That entire part of the country is just so unique. Then you've got even parts of Georgia, northern Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. Man, Pennsylvania's really pretty. You've got West Virginia, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. I mean, this country is absolutely beautiful, and being a truck driver has made me appreciate the United States even more. Yes, we do have a corrupt government. We always have had a corrupt government. When has the government in any country not been corrupt? However, there's still, even with the corruption in government, it's still a pretty great life here in America. We have a lot of things that other countries do not have. And we have a lot of opportunities that other countries do not have still. So, it's just amazing. It's an amazing country, beauty-wise. It's an amazing country, period, in a lot of ways. And being a truck driver has made me appreciate that even. And that's what I think about a lot. When I get to see this stuff, I mean, I'm like, man, this is just unbelievable. It really is. It's absolutely beautiful. But I've learned a lot about the trucking industry. I've learned a lot about business. I've taken classes on the road. I've done accounting courses. I've done marketing, sales, plenty of college courses on the road. I've done them. And I've taken a lot of time to educate myself and figure out what it is that I want to do long term with my life. Trucking has done that for me. And it's not because it's trucking that did it, it's that trucking put me in that position to be able to think to myself, hey, what do I want to do with my life long term? That's what it has done. And like I said, that could be good or bad. Some people could just get depressed out here and fall apart mentally. They can, and a lot of people do. That's why this job, this career is not for everybody. Because it's not really physically the hardest job in the world. It's not. It's mentally. It's one of the hardest industries mentally. It's one of the hardest careers mentally. Because a lot of people don't get a great start in trucking. Like the first year they start, they're tied down to a company for a year, and they can't leave that company until their contract is up. And a lot of people quit before their contract is up and say, man, forget this. And I think a lot of people make a mistake in trucking because the first year is so rough that they lose passion, they lose excitement for the business, even though it's like, dude, that's going to be the hardest part of your trucking career. You may get started with a company that just isn't that great. But once you hit that year of experience and you didn't hit anything, well then guess what? The sky is the limit. That is what I've learned. The sky is the limit in this business. You have to pay your dues. You do. You've got to pay your dues. If you want to build wealth with trucking, you're going to have to sacrifice. You are. You want to be an owner-operator, you're going to have to sacrifice. Whatever it is you want to do with trucking, with life, period, you got to sacrifice. I've learned that. I did not used to have this exact mind. Like when I was a teenager in high school, I didn't think of any of this stuff. I learned this mindset by studying other successful people. That is the secret. It's really not a secret. I have read dozens of books, taken courses, but mainly read dozens of books of other successful people that I admire. Even if I don't like them personally, like I don't agree with them maybe politically or whatever, I still will learn from somebody who's more successful than me. There's plenty of people, plenty of billionaires, self-made millionaires, people who've started businesses, been successful investors, that I may not agree with them politically, but I've learned a ton from them, a ton. And I admire what I've learned about them. You're never going to like really anything or like everything from anybody. That's just the way life works. But that is one of the biggest things in trucking. Like I said, I'm just thinking out loud in this video. I have learned a lot by choice, though. Not everybody most people don't learn anything when they get into trucking. They don't learn anything because they don't want to learn. But if you're willing to learn, you are getting paid to get a college education. If you really understand that, when you get into trucking and you drive 11 hours a day, you are getting paid money to, if you decide, get a college education in whatever you want to get it in. And I would recommend business. If you're in trucking, learn about business. Learn about the trucking business. There's dozens of books with the blueprint on the trucking industry. It'll teach you all about the transportation sector entirely, not just truckload trucking company. It'll teach you about the entire supply chain and how it works. And nobody really, nobody knows everything. Like, you always got to continue learning, but the point is you can know a lot more than a lot of people, and in order to be successful, you have to know more than everybody else. You have to know more, and you have to work harder than everybody else. That's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. So, look, starting with Millis, and I'm going to end with this. Starting with Millis was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. Okay, I don't know what's going on there right now. I don't. And that's irrelevant, because for me, Millis transfer was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Deciding to sign up and go through their trucking school, get my license, and become a truck driver. One of the greatest decisions ever in my life that I've ever made. It has paved the way for many different things. For, like I said in the beginning of the video, myself and my family. And it's going to continue to do that, this industry. Well, leaving Millis for the reasons I've given in previous videos and going to Crete Carrier, this has ended up, I didn't know it would work out, but it has ended up being a fantastic decision. It has. And I plan on staying here. I plan on this really being my last company job. I do. And that's how good this company has been to me. And it's not because of how the people treat me. It's what I like to do. I like to run and be left alone to do my job. I don't really talk to anybody here unless I need a or B service done or something done with the truck, or I need to talk to my dispatcher about a load, a situation with a load. That's it. But they leave you alone at this company, and I love that. I love that about trucking in general, but really with Crete, it's very streamlined here. I love it. All the drop-in hooks you get, the abundance of freight, it's amazing. It really is. I love the fact that I've gotten to see almost every state in the country with Crete. I have completed my goal, almost, except for Maine, I have completed my goal of being to every state in the country. I've been to every state in the lower 48 except for Maine. And I want to get up to Maine, I really do. Maybe I will before I come off of over the road, I don't know. But yeah, that is the deal. That is the deal. Coming to Crete has been great. Getting into trucking in general. People, like, look, I talk about Crete, that's because it's where I'm at. That's it. I just want to be clear about that. That is because it's where I'm at. It's that simple. If I was at another company and it was a great place to work, I would be talking about them as well. If it was a bad place to work, if I came to Crete and it was a terrible situation, I would be telling you, again, I would be upfront and brutally honest and say, look, it started off good, but it turned south really quick. Well, for me, that has not happened here. Maybe for some people watching this video, it happened to them, I don't know. But for the most part, I have noticed that the majority of the Crete drivers have been very happy with the company. Majority of them. There's always going to be people who don't like a company or don't like an industry, but the majority of people at this company have been very positive and very upbeat about the company and really share the same views about them that I do. And that is what sold me on coming here, honestly, was talking to so many Crete drivers. That's what sold me on coming to Crete. The main thing, not the pay, yes, the pay and all the things that you read about, but the thing that told me to come here was, again, talking to, over 10 drivers at this company, and the majority of them have not only been with the company for a year or 2 years, no, they had been with the company for like 5-10 years. And they say, I love it so much, I'm not leaving. Well, that's how I feel. I really do. I have no reason to leave Crete at all. Except for if I go, or when I go, do my own thing. And if that's even outside of this company, it may not. I don't know. But the point is, what I've learned with trucking, with life, as a truck driver, as a husband, as a new father, as somebody who is very into, I've developed a huge passion for investing in the stock market. I have learned that no matter what it is, you have to give it your all. No matter what it is, nothing is going to be easy in life. Nothing worth having is easy. Nothing. It's that simple. And that is the main thing. Main thing. And it's like, oh, really? That's common sense. Yeah, well, how much common sense do you see nowadays? Because I don't see a lot, to be honest with you. I don't. But I've learned that nothing comes easy. All of the plans that I've made before I came into trucking, I had all these goals, and a lot of them I've accomplished already. A lot of them I have not, but all of them have taken a little longer than I planned. But the key is I never gave up, and I will never give up on what I want to accomplish. I won't. That is the key. If you can take away anything from what I'm saying, okay, anything, never give up. Never, ever give up on anything. Ever. Okay? Don't do that. Give whatever you set out to do a chance. Give it a real chance. Like, for example, this could be with anything, but if you're going to get into trucking, give it a real shot, right? I believe that. Give it a real shot. And if it doesn't work out after a year, at least go a year. I would recommend go 2 years, go a year with the company you started with, and then go another year with a really good company. If you're with a bad situation, or any bad situation, maybe you just need to go to a different company after you hit your first year. That might be the case. A lot of people need to do that to see if they truly like trucking, because trust me, the companies that you can work for, when you have a year or more of experience, it's way different. especially when you hit 2 years of experience. So just understand that. Just understand that. So long story short, all of it's been worth it. It's been very tough. I've been through a lot of mental stress out here. It's not always easy, okay? It's not. Trucking, life, all of this stuff is very hard. YouTube's hard. All of it's hard. But I keep going because I have my long-term goals that I want to achieve. That's why I keep going. It's very simple. And so I believe that everybody should do that. I believe that anybody can do anything if they put their mind to it. I really do. I really do. So that's my message for the day. I hope everybody has a blessed day. This has been a very long video, and if anybody stayed tuned this far into the video, man, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So anyways, God bless. Thank you everybody for watching my channel. Thank you for being a subscriber of mine. Thank you if you're new for watching this video, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.